Welcome back to The Legal Trifecta, the podcast where you can gain the legal insights of a senior attorney and an ambitious paralegal. Join us every month as we bridge the gap between experience and innovation. And you, our listeners, complete our trifecta with bringing your questions and curiosity, making each discussion richer and more insightful. Now, without further ado, let's begin. How are you, Sandy?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Yeah, we just ate lunch, so we're nice and full, energetic. Yeah, I'm excited.
And fired up.
Yes.
We had our farewell luncheon
Yes.
for Angela, who's been with the firm for 3.5 years.
Yes.
And she is moving on to better opportunities.
We wish her the best.
Something good, and we wish her the best. So now your legal trifecta has the two of us and the mystery guest.
Yes.
Not today for the mystery guest, but coming up, we'll soon have a mystery guest.
Yeah, you guys can look forward to a lot more insight, which is going to be interesting to have different perspectives. And so today, last month we talked about the calendar. What is it called? Blanking.
The Julian calendar and the
Yes.
Gregorian calendar.
Yes. And this month, we're going to be talking about the eclipse happening in April. So if you guys haven't heard, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So we want to talk about navigating the complexities of the Texas eclipse, all the legal, economic, and the community impacts. So we're going to start with talking about just the legal safety preparations of the eclipse. I didn't even think that would be something to think about.
To think about law and the eclipse, yes.
Yeah.
So the eclipse is, as I think everybody knows, it's where the moon in its orbit around the Earth periodically crosses paths with the sun and obliterates the sun. And, eclipses occur during the day when the sun is out. They don't occur at night when the sun's shining on the other side of the Earth. And most eclipses are partial eclipses. But periodically you have a total eclipse, and that's simply where the moon moves directly across the face of the sun and blocks it out. So you get darkness, almost like night descending very quickly and then rising. It takes time. It's not like you're throwing a light switch on and off. It gradually darkens, but then you get a period of total darkness, and this eclipse, which is traveling from southwest to northeast across the United States, is a total eclipse and has for what they call the totality period, which is where you've got the ring of fire around the moon disk, which is dark, which is obliterating the main part of the sun. That is going to last about 4 hours. I said that last time. That is going to last about 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And the
do they have like a time estimate? They're gonna tell you at what time this is gonna happen?
no, that's well known. By the astronomical calculations, they can tell you exactly when totality will start and end, exactly when the eclipse, which includes the beginning of the first impingement of the moon on the sun to the last of the moon blocking any part of the sun. That period of time is much longer. That's measured in hours coming in and going out. But the totality, which everybody is excited about, is only about a little under 4.5 minutes.
Wow.
So,
everyone's going to freeze for 4.5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes, and appreciate it.
Freeze or do something else. They'll we're waiting to see. And this eclipse moves directly across Texas and moves in a path which takes it very close to a number of large cities. So there's a huge number of people that will be going to see it.
Yes, and that's actually one of my first questions. So considering past events, how can landowners and businesses prepare from a legal standpoint for the influx of eclipse watchers? For instance, Nebraska landowners face liability questions during the 2017 eclipse.
Yeah, let's take the first part of the question, which is how businesses are preparing. The cities that are in the direct totality path are not the major cities. They're about a 60 to 90 minute drive from the the major cities, which is a very doable drive. If you
Yeah.
get out there on April 8, you can go over and drive down there.
Mm-hmm.
What those cities are doing economically is that a number of them are capitalizing on the event by holding festivals and saying that we're open for business. So they are bringing, well, Corsican is having a festival, Waxahachie's having a festival.
Oh, wow.
And some other locations are having festivals too. So they're definitely pushing on the economic engine of all these people are going to be coming down here.
Right, right.
That was the first
boom.
part. And the second part of the question was
Landowners.
landowners, yes. So a lot of the land in the counties where you're going to have totality is rural land. And people will be pulling over on the roadways to take a look. And they may or may not be entering on rural land. And you may have rural landowners who say, you know, X dollars a head, you can come watch it on my ranch.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're mostly okay. Those people will be business invitees, as they call it under the law. And your duty as a landowner to business invitees is to warn them of any defects that you know of in the premises. Like if you know that there's a giant hole over there, you probably need to warn them about it. Either fill it in, which is make it safe, or you can warn them about it.
What about like animals? Like what if there's like a lot of brown recluse and deadly, you know, or is that like common sense?
Those are not normally considered to be premises defects. Naturally occurring wildlife is not a premises defect because people
We're the defect.
are expected to know about it.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if you are raising exotic animals and you don't tell anybody, we have a number of ranches where they raise big cats. We have ranches that raise llamas. So many llamas in Texas, I'm not certain whether you can consider them to be wildlife you expect to encounter or not. But on those ones where you are actually raising animals that could pose a threat, you should probably warn people about it. Now, if you are allowing or you're selling, for example, come down here, see the eclipse, and ride the horses, and we'll sell you a horseback ride at the same time that you're going through and watching the eclipse, then there is a specific statute on horseback riding, and you do need to post the sign. And as long as you post the sign, you've done a lot to control your liability. If you don't post the sign, you don't get the benefit of the statute.
And what happens when individuals maybe aren't sure if they're on private property? Like what are the repercussions of that?
If, well, they're trespassing.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether they know they're on private property or not, if they're on private property, they are trespassing. And if they have entered the land without the landowner's permission, then they are trespassers, or as they call them in the case law, this is an actual term from the law, they call them naked trespassers.
Okay,
which
interesting.
means that they have no claim to being on the land as a business invitee. They have no claim to being on the land as a licensee. They've got the lowest possible status of a person entering onto the land as a trespasser.
Interesting.
And when you get down to trespasser, your duty as a landowner is effectively only not to intentionally hurt them. You no longer have a duty to warn them of premises defects, and you no longer have a duty to remedy that. It's an either-or situation on a premises defect. You either have to warn your business invitee, your customers about it, or you have to make it safe so your customers can't get hurt by it, so the premises defect goes away. All of that goes away once you start talking about trespassers. You owe very little in the way of duties to trespassers. Now, you cannot take a gun and set up a spring-loaded gun For example, if you're tired of people sneaking into your barn, you can't set up a gun and trigger it with the barn door. So when somebody opens the barn door, they get shot. There, even naked trespassers have rights. So, yeah,
Luckily,
that kind of a thing where you're going to intentionally injure even a trespasser,
yeah.
that you should not do.
And so do you think for individuals trying to see the eclipse, just stay out of fences, maybe stay on the pavement, like
Yes.
stay out of just the grassy areas potentially?
I think what's really going to happen is that lots of people, they'll go down to the cities and then they'll fan out on the rural roads. And on the rural roads, they'll pull over. And as long as most of those rural roads, you've got 2-lane blacktop, and then you've got some shoulder area on many of them. And then you'll have a bar ditch, and then you hit the fence line.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't cross the fence line, then you're in the state right of way. Now, can you park on the side of the highway or park with your tires partly on the roadway, get out of your car? That's a whole separate issue. People are going to do it. Thousands of people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Just be careful when you're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that during the eclipse, law enforcement is not going to be out there ticketing people for illegal parking on state highways. Now, don't pull over on an interstate and stop to watch the eclipse, because that puts you in an incredible amount of danger.
That's a huge hazard.
Yeah, and law enforcement's much more likely to come along and go, yeah, you really can't stop here on the interstate. And while we're talking about driving and rolling along, don't buy eclipse glasses and wear them while you're driving, thinking that that will be a
good idea
benefit. Because people think, I'll buy eclipse glasses and I'll drive along to the eclipse and I'll stick my head out and I'll look up and I'll see the sun, and you'll wind up looking like something in a cartoon. So don't wear your eclipse glasses while you're driving. Wear your normal glasses. If you really want to see the eclipse, then get to a safe place, park, get out of the vehicle, and then you can observe the eclipse.
Yeah, have some spatial awareness.
Yes.
And you had mentioned like businesses, and I want to kind of go back to that. So let's talk about just your regular day businesses. There maybe employees want to go see it. What are some suggestions that you have for employers to let their employees see it, make sure there's not too many absentees, keep that engagement?
They have no legal duty to allow you to go out to watch the eclipse.
Right.
Mostly, they don't have any legal duty to do that. For people who say that observation of the eclipse is a religious practice, and there are some religions sun-based religions that view eclipse watching as being a religious event. You may have a duty to accommodate that particular religious belief if the employee comes and says, I need April 8 off. Because this is for me a religious observation to see the eclipse. Other than that, no, you don't have to let your employees go. And if they want to take their own paid time off to do that, they are free to do that. But you don't have any.
There's no laws.
There's no laws. It's not like jury service. It's just something cool thing that a lot of people will want to do. A thing that I think a lot of people will phone in and say, I'm going to go do this.
So employers maybe should prepare for the fact that they might get some absentees.
You might want to overschedule a little bit on your employees for that day, on the theory that some of them are going to phone it in that day because they're going to go down and see the eclipse.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. And talking about the glasses, this was something that I had never thought about, but there had been lawsuits against some companies creating them because they weren't working or they weren't up to the standard. So
not all eclipse glasses are made are the same. There's a particular type of screening of the rays from the sun that you want to achieve in order to protect the eye when observing the eclipse. And during the last major total eclipse in the United States, there were some foreign companies that had sold on Amazon and other sites eclipse glasses
Yeah.
that were cheap. Well, not only were they cheap, they did not
They were
provide
garbage.
the necessary eye protection.
Mm-hmm.
And that resulted in a number of lawsuits over defects in the actual eclipse glasses. So,
Why do people even use glasses to begin with?
for the same reason that your parents tell you when you're a child, don't stare at the sun. The radiation, the light in all wavelengths coming off the sun with the intensity that it comes off the sun, even at our distance of 93 million miles plus from the sun, is enough to damage the eye on a permanent basis.
Wow.
When you're a child, every so often, like, you will look at the sun for a little bit, and you'll look down and you realize that bright light is now
Scattered
occupied.
everywhere.
And it's not that the light source is still there. It's that the light source of the sun has just absolutely ignited all of the rods and cones at the back of the eye. And so ignited in the sense they're all firing off. They're all sending stuff up the optic nerve saying something's going on here.
That's why you see all those little lights,
Yeah, and you can burn out. It's the same way that it's the same principle that you can burn out your light, burn out your
bulbs?
Burn out your eyes with lasers.
Yeah.
You know how pilots talk about the danger of ground-based lasers, even like laser pens, where people try and point them into the cockpit of an airplane, because the darkness of the cockpit has, at night, you've got dilation of the eyes, and then suddenly you hit the eyes with this coherent light wave, which is what a laser is, and that can cause damage to the eyes. So if you are going to observe the eclipse, do not observe the eclipse directly by looking at the sun, without wearing eclipse glasses, which are of sufficient quality to actually protect your eyes. Now, you can look at it indirectly. You can use telescopes, where you can get the filtering of the telescope, and you're not looking directly at the sun, and you can observe the eclipse. You can also use pinhole projection.
I have not heard of that before.
You've not heard of pinhole projection?
No, I don't think so.
Essentially, you have like a box, and at one end you have what is essentially a pinhole, which acts almost like a movie projector. And so the sunlight comes in and hits that. Then you have the other end of the box or something here, which is a screen, and that will project the image of the sun over here on the screen.
Oh, yeah, that's
neat. Then as the moon moves across it, you can actually see that on the projected image over here. Now, of course, that projected image is nothing like looking at the sun itself, because you're not pouring all of the light waves, both visible and non-visible, from the sun into your eyes.
Right.
And if you're in doubt about the quality of the eclipse glasses you have, or if you do not have eclipse glasses, then don't look at the sun during the eclipse. And it's not worth it. And don't think that totality means that the danger has gone away.
Yes.
Because you still have the so-called the corona, the ring of fire, which is still emitting an enormous, not enough to make daylight, but still emitting a large amount of light, enough that during the eclipse you don't hit, even during the totality period, it's not blackout darkness. It's not like you're standing there at midnight, but you get something like deep twilight. But there's still enough coming off the sun that if you look up and stare directly, it's not the best thing to do for the health of your eye.
And what do the glasses have in them that prevents that from harming you?
Oh, they've got filters.
Just filters.
Just like just like it's the same principle that you see in sunglasses. Don't use sunglasses because they're not appropriate for this.
Someone told me, and I don't know if this is true, and I feel like it's not, but they were like, just use tint, like from a car.
No.
Don't do that, right?
No.
Okay.
Tint in cars is mostly a polarization filter. So it's like sunglasses. Like you can get tinted sunglasses. You can get polarized sunglasses, which are much better at eliminating glare. And I am not at all conversant with the optical principles of how the Eclipse glasses actually work.
Fair. We're getting really into the detail. I'm trying to make sure you have all the information. But talking about protection, don't just protect your eyes, also protect your pockets. Something you mentioned was the hotel prices. They're going up. And people are going to be price gouging. So how can consumers protect themselves?
That's easy. Book your hotel room in 2023, long before the eclipse ever gets here. We had a case for the better part of the last decade in Waco, Texas, which is right near where the path of totality is going to pass. And so over the course of 10 years, we were there a lot, stayed at all different hotels in Waco. And I think over the course of the past 10 years, that the highest price that we paid on a hotel was about $175 for a night. And that was for a top-end hotel in Waco. This morning, just for giggles, I thought that I'd take a look at hotel prices. And I pulled it up, and there's essentially zero availability. I looked at two different travel sites. They were like, yeah, this location, Waco, is like 97 or 98% booked.
Wow, what are the prices?
For the
Did you
night
get those?
before the eclipse. And they gave me a price. One night, days in Waco, $795.
Oh my goodness! But people are paying it. They wouldn't make it that price unless people were willing to pay that.
It's also a product of dynamic pricing.
Yes.
And then all the Airbnbs are selling out, and then people are the RV parks are saying, oh yeah, you can have an RV slot overnight for the day of the eclipse, and those were running about $200.
Wow.
And then I saw a listing for effectively not much more than come stand on our land.
Yeah.
And that was about $125.
Wow.
It's amazing. Now you would think that type of price gouging would not be legal. And if it was a hurricane, if everybody was raising their prices because there was a hurricane coming ashore and the governor declared a disaster or an emergency because of the hurricane coming ashore, then that would prohibit price gouging. And we've got a specific statute, the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, which includes that price gouging prohibition.
And legally speaking, how is it defined?
How is price gouging defined? It's charging excessive prices during times of natural emergency. So the eclipse, though, is not a natural emergency. The state has not entered any proclamation or declaration of a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that some of the counties along the way have not taken steps. For example, Bell County, which is the first county south of McLennan County, which is where Waco is located. Their county judge issued a county-wide emergency declaration in advance for the day of April 8th. And the only reason for doing that is to activate their county response resources. So they'll all be available in case something untoward happens, be it somebody inadvertently sending a grass fire or a major accident or anything like that. Because you're going to have
Such an influx of people.
Such an influx of people who don't know the roads, who don't know the towns, who don't know anything, trampling everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a number of viewers are going to be out there partaking of alcohol, at least alcohol, and that's just sort of a, shall we say, a cocktail for something happening.
Right.
So the local law enforcement, local police departments, and local medical emergency response personnel are on alert for the day of the eclipse. So they'll be there to help you if you wind up in a situation, whether you are the victim of the situation or whether you are the cause of the situation.
Right. Is there like a threshold for municipalities to say that they need to have this disaster declaration?
There's not a threshold. It's up to the individual judgment at the county level for the county judge to make that determination.
Okay, gotcha.
And mostly it's just because of the things that you can activate under state law if you issue a declaration such as that. So there's at least one. I don't know if there are more now, but the counties are getting ready for this huge influx of people. So hopefully it goes better than the fire festival did. So,
what happened at the fire festival? Maybe I didn't hear. I don't know.
Fire Festival was a festival at an offshore island that was sold as being this huge concert and turned out to be this complete disaster.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did people pass away?
No, people did not pass away, but the primary promoter spent some time in government housing.
Oh, no.
So.
I see.
Yeah.
Got it. And is there any way or any advice that you give for communities when engaging with state and federal agencies in the disaster declaration process?
Not really. The whole point of
just follow the rules.
The whole point of the disaster declaration process is to ensure even a higher level of cooperation among the county and local responding units. So a number of emergency response units that appear to be local to smaller cities in the more rural counties actually have responsibilities in an emergency that are larger than the particular city that they are in. So a city may say they've got a volunteer fire department, and you as the casual observer may think, oh, that means that's for fires there. Well, actually it may turn out that it's for fires within their service area, which may be 15% or 20% of the county. So those areas are larger than the service areas are larger than you would think. The emergency response areas are larger than you would think. And then the other thing that you want to have is cooperation and support from surrounding emergency response, law enforcement, medical, and fire in the event that something really large happens. So it's all coordinated, and that coordination takes place generally at the county level. And the purpose of a county declaration is generally to make sure that you've activated and you've manned, you have the personnel present at that particular county's emergency response facility.
Yes. And just thinking about the POV of it's April 8th,
right.
What are you telling people to just give them like maybe a quick list? Maybe they have kids or something. What's that, your tips, your top 5 tips for preparing for the eclipse?
My top 5 tips? Stay home, nice and air conditioned. Don't worry about the weather. Watch it on TV.
I love that. I love that.
It's a little bit different. If you take kids, watch them. Because if you put kids in an environment where everybody's staring into the sky, kids are going to stare into the sky.
Yeah.
If you're going to take your kids and they're going to stare into the sky, they're going to look at the sun, make sure that they have eclipse glasses.
Yeah.
Make sure that the glasses are children's size glasses.
Yeah.
Don't just take adult glasses and put them on. and watch your kids while you're doing it during those 4 odd minutes
Mm-hmm.
or more. Because,
Maybe give them 2 minutes and then you get 2 minutes.
yeah,
Cover their eyes while they're not.
because you want to make sure that they do not take the glasses off or they don't slip off. And that 4.5 minutes is the totality period.
Mm-hmm.
There's a large segment of time on either side, the shoulders on either side, where you're leading into totality and out of totality, where you also need to wear the eclipse glasses if you're going to be looking at the sun.
Yeah.
So if you have children, you just need to be particularly vigilant about what they are doing and make sure that they're not looking at the sun directly without the necessary form of eye protection.
Yeah. And maybe also look at the weather, make sure that it's not like going to be raining. I don't think it's hard to predict that from now, but
I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking that
it is April.
It would be a bust because April really is the
well, what happens if it touches water?
Storm season.
The glasses is like
and so you can easily have storms. It can be overcast. So there's all sorts of things that can happen along the way. And if you've paid $795 for your hotel room and the weather forecast is rain and overcast the entire time, you need to check the terms under which you paid for your hotel room, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be non-refundable. There are some of the resort ranches out there are actively marketing packages to attract people to the ranch for enjoying probably the ranch more than the eclipse. But I saw one of the larger, more well-known ones in Central Texas, and they have openings still that you can go and you can rent. It is a 4-night minimum to go in and then see the eclipse. Now, they've got the whole menu plan. You get the gourmet food. You get to do everything else on the ranch and take a vacation. And so the eclipse is just part of a greater package. But the selling power of come see a total eclipse for one of the few times in your life when you can see it without having to travel a long distance. People are definitely trying to cash in on that.
Well, we got lucky. We got really lucky if you're living in Texas and you get the opportunity. You only had to stay in your house. That's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are total eclipses. I mean, there are total eclipses each year. I mean, if you decide you really want to see one and you miss this one in Texas, which actually goes all the way up across the rest of the United States. But if you miss this one and you want to go see another total eclipse, you can pull out the astronomical manuals and you can take a look, and it may be in South America or Africa or Asia, but there's pretty much a total eclipse somewhere on Earth on a frequency that would allow you to plan and go see it. Although you run into the same types of issues that we're having here, which is a lot of people want to go see a total eclipse.
And do you think that Texas is going to experience any type of like little mini economic boom from this?
Yes, I think that the cities who are in the cities in particular who are in the totality path will have not so much an economic boom, but they'll have one or two really good day of sales.
Yes.
And the same thing for the hotels that are there and the restaurants. So they'll have a pickup in business. It's just going to be, hey, we're really slammed and we're really busy for about 48 hours, and then it'll all go away. It's not economic development or economic boom. It's just a dividend, sort of a 2-day economic dividend up and down the line, the path of the eclipse, and up and down the center of that path, which is the totality path.
Right. And this is a personal question that I had thought of. You know a lot about eclipses. You know a lot. He knows a lot about a little bit of everything, but we do research. But I wanted to know, when you were a child growing up, did your parents ever give you like a telescope or something to look at the stars, and maybe that grew your interest?
No.
Okay. Me neither.
It did not.
Yeah.
I did attend a high school, and we had a planetarium at the high school.
Oh, that's super cool.
And the planetarium was very educational.
Yeah.
And then from there, I took some astronomy courses, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So otherwise, at best, I'm an armchair astronomer.
Fair.
Nothing more.
Gotcha.
Neither science of the stars nor planetary science is in any way my forte.
Yeah. I didn't used to look up at the sky very often. I now live in a more rural area and realize that stars exist, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you can speak on like light pollution, maybe being wise about the location that you do choose. We've talked about don't go on private property, but maybe pick a place where you can really thoroughly see the sky.
You want a place you can thoroughly see the sky. You also need to be cognizant of all the lights that we have that automatically come on when you have darkness. Just like you'll be driving along, and if you're driving on the roadway on April 8th and the eclipse starts, by the time you get to totality, your headlights will automatically come on.
Oh, yeah.
If they're set to automatic, because it's dark. Now, if you want to go someplace and watch the eclipse, don't stand under a street light. Because you'd be like, this is the greatest thing in the world, and you're watching it, and the street light comes on, because street light's like, my light sensor tells me it's now nighttime, so I need to come on. So in addition to observing the sun and the moon's disk over the sun during the eclipse, it will be dark enough in the sky to observe some other bright astronomical objects, one or two planets, maybe a couple of stars that are of fairly high magnitude, because it's just like a sort of a twilight when things come out. But you're absolutely right about this whole issue of light pollution. When I was young, before they invented lights, I can remember as a child, standing out and looking up at the sky, and you could make out the sky. You could also distinctly make out the Milky Way.
Really?
And, yeah. And so, you could see sort of, there is a light band that goes across the sky. Now, if you live in a major city, like I do, there's so much light pollution that you never.
And can you explain what light pollution is for anyone who may not be familiar with it?
It's just that lights, artificial lights, emit light, and for lack of a better words, it bounces around. So you have a glow to a city at night, and when you have that glow, and you're at the bottom of the glow and you're looking up, you get enough light that it dwarfs the light of the stars that are above that, and and it dwarfs them enough that you don't really see them at all. It's what happens during the day. People are like, oh, the sun is the star that's out during the day. You're like, actually, there's a whole bunch of other stars out, but you can't see them because the sun emits so much light that whatever these magnitude is of these other stars, you can't see them. So, but if you get out to a place where you don't have this light pollution, and it really is dark, and you really do look at the sky, it's astounding how many stars are out there that you can see, that you don't see now. So.
And that does remind me, as a little tip for everyone, make sure that when you're going out and enjoying your time viewing the eclipse, that you be mindful of the environment and you leave it well and you leave it clean and leave the place no trace.
Right. Yes, because I'm sure a lot of those bar ditches and fields are going to be trampled by
beer cans.
You don't want to litter. You don't want beer cans, or as I say, don't mess with Texas.
Yes.
So carry out what you carry in, so it'll stay nice and pristine. So when you're children's children come out to the next total eclipse in Texas, they can enjoy it as much as we hope you enjoyed this eclipse.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank the listeners so much for tuning in to this episode. And we can't wait to film next month. So please make sure you keep following us on wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to tell us about your eclipse stories, please reach out to us at SMQ Law. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next month.